Now let's take a quick quiz. When I'm talking about pain versus gain, what do I mean? Spending 6 weeks to raise your score from 55% to 60% on assignment 1 would be an example of the gain outweighing the pain. Pain versus gain means striking a balance between the effort required and the benefit produced. No amount of effort is worth the results that you will produce. Spending 1 hour to get a score of 5% and then moving on is an example of the pain being minimized. So let's take a look at the first one. If it takes you 6 weeks to gain 5% increase on your assignment 1 grade, I would say that the pain far outweighs the gain. Those 6 weeks could have been better spent working on another assignment. No amount of effort is worth the results that you will produce. If life was really about that, then I don't think anyone would bother with anything. Pain versus gain means striking a balance between the effort required and the benefit produced. That one definitely seems like it's feasible, so we'll tick that one. And spending 1 hour to get a score of 5% and then moving on is an example of the pain being minimized. Well, that is a trick statement, because certainly you are minimizing your pain because you're only spending 1 hour on something, but you're not really gaining much from that. So I would say that that is not true. Nothing brings success like bribing the judging panel, copying last year's team, sucking less than other teams, sharing notes with other teams. None of us will appreciate bribing the judging panel, so that will definitely not bring you success. Nothing brings success like copying last year's team. That is a bit tricky. Yes, you might gain some short-term success from that, but in your personal journey there would be no success from copying someone else's work without understanding it yourself. Nothing brings success like sucking less than the other teams. Certainly in the context of this competition, that is true. And then finally, nothing brings success like sharing notes with other teams. Well, it might bring success to the other teams, but it may not help you. So in this case, sharing notes with the other teams is not a successful strategy for you. When you parallelize your code, will it always make a program run faster? Will it sometimes make a program run faster? Will it never make a program run faster? Parallelizing code will definitely not make a program run faster, now or ever. Parallelizing code will never make a program run faster would certainly be true. When you parallelize code, you're breaking it. What about when you parallelize code? This will always make a program run faster. It will sometimes make a program run faster. It will never make a program run faster. Will parallelizing your code always make a program run faster? The short answer is no. It will not always make a program run faster. In fact, it may never make a program run faster, because what we're relying on is the number of resources allocated to that code, as well as the nature of the code itself. So this is strictly not true. If you parallelize code, will it sometimes make a program run faster? Well, that one is certainly true. It will sometimes make a program run faster. But then again, it may never make a program run faster. This is a bit tricky, and this is an important concept to understand. It all depends on the underlying algorithm, and the concept of parallelism will be explained in further detail in a future chapter. But for now, what you should understand, simply making some code parallel compliant may not necessarily have any impact on the code whatsoever, but it can, under certain circumstances, make a program never run faster. In fact, there should be a fourth one here. It will make a program slower.